So welcome to all of you Shiksha 360. This is MCQ discussion session 2. Clear? So today basically this is MCQ discussion session 2, that is basically chapter number 17, 18, set number 2. Clear? So in the previous session basically we have discussed 10 questions. So now move to the next one. Clear? Now move to the next one. Question number 11. Clear? This question basically I will discuss basically with you in some time. Question number 11 basically regarding that. So notice money, clear? So notice money basically what it refers to, clear? Sometimes basically these types of question basically you will also find in the examination. So notice money basically what it refers to. Option number A, that is basically funds placed overnight. Option number B, that is basically fund placed basically after giving a notice of placement. Third option, that is basically fund placed basically for periods in excess of 3 months, but not exceeding 1 year. And for funds placement of funds basically beyond overnight basically but not exceeding 14 days, clear? Basically but not exceeding 14 days. So that is basically beyond overnight, that is basically 2 days to 14 days. This is the meaning of that. That is placement of funds basically beyond overnight, that is basically 2 days to 14 days, but not exceeding 14 days. Clear? So option number D is the correct answer here. Clear? Option number D is the correct answer here. That is basically placement of funds. Clear? That is placements of funds basically beyond overnight, but not exceeding 14 days. Clear? Basically, but not exceeding 14 days. So this is basically funds placed overnight. Basically, that is, this is basically called as to be call money. Clear? This is to basically called as to be call money. Overnight placements. Clear? That is overnight placements and repaid on the next day or repaid on the next working day. Which one is correct one? Repaid on the which one is to be correct one here? Repaid on the next day or repaid on the next working day? Clear? So that is going to be repaid basically on the next working day. Clear? So this one it is to be wrong, this one it is to be correct one. Clear? So please remember that all these things, clear, regarding that. And basically which money basically it is for more than 1 year, that is to be basically but not up to, not more than 1 year, that is basically beyond, that is excess of 14 days till 1 year. That is to be basically known as term money. Clear? That is basically known as term money. And among that basically there are 1 or 2 full forms. So one I will discuss basically with the OIS. So can anyone remember basically what is OIS? What is OIS? OIS basically stands for the overnight interest rate swaps. OIS basically stands for the overnight interest rate swaps. Clear? So please remember that also. Clear? OIS basically stands for the overnight interest rate swaps. So any doubt, any query regarding this question up to this much point, please ask. Now move to the next question. Question number 12. So nostro accounts are, clear? Basically nostro accounts are accounts meant for reconciliation. Nostro accounts are basically accounts meant for reconciliation. Clear? These questions basically present in the, you can say that basically in the book. Clear? Directly basically I'm taking these questions basically from the book. Clear? There are 5 questions basically present in the book, so I request all of you go through with that. Second one basically accounts of foreign banks basically with the Indian banks. Third one basically that is current accounts denominated basically in the foreign currency basically maintained by banks with their correspondent banks. Clear? Basically with their correspondent banks in the home country of the currency. Clear? Basically in the home country of the currency. Fourth one basically that is short-term investments. Clear? Basically short-term investment basically will AAA rated foreign banks. Clear? short-term investments basically with the triple A rated foreign banks. Clear? So what is the correct answer? Now stroke on that is option number C is the correct answer. That is current accounts denominated in the foreign currency. Clear? Current accounts basically denominated in the foreign currency maintained by the banks with their correspondent banks in the home currency of the country. Clear? In the home country of the currency. Clear? So yesterday basically we have discussed one thing, that is SGL. So can anyone tell basically what is SGL? Clear? Basically what is SGL? SGL basically it is standing for basically what is the full form? That is subsidiary journal ledger. Clear? SGL basically stands for the subsidiary journal ledger. It is maintained by subsidiary journal ledger. Basically it is maintained by PDO. It is maintained by PDO, that is Public Debt Office of the RBI. Clear? It is basically maintained by PDO of the RBI. Okay. Basically it is what? That is basically in the electronic form where basically banks maintain their security accounts. Clear? Basically where banks maintain their security accounts. And that is basically exclusively basically for the government securities. Clear? Exclusively basically for the government securities. Okay, so please remember that all these things. And here what is the correct answer? That is option number C will be the correct answer here. Clear? Option number C will be the correct answer here. Any other query, any other doubt regarding the same? Okay, now move to the next question. So this is one basically these questions basically from the chapter number 17. Clear? Now these questions basically will be from the chapter number 17. Clear? In that also basically you will get M1, M2, M3, M4. Clear? Which also constitutes the important part basically in the ABM examination. Clear? In the ABM examination, this you will find out in the chapter number 17, 18 also. Clear? 18 also. So here first question basically, that is what are the components of the M3? Clear? Basically what are the components of the M3? Clear? First option, that is M1 plus currency in circulation. Second one basically, that is M1 plus demand and time deposits basically with the banking system. Third one basically, that is M1 plus demand and time deposits basically with the banking system plus post office saving deposits. Fourth one basically, that is this option, that is B plus budgetary expenses of the government. Clear? That is B plus budgetary expenses of the government. Clear? I think all of you are able to remember that. M3 basically it is equal to the M1 plus demand and time deposit basically with the banking system plus post office saving deposit. Clear? Basically plus post office saving deposit. Clear? So here what will be the correct answer? That is option number C will be the correct answer here. Clear? Option number C will be the correct answer. That is M1 plus demand and time deposits basically with the banking system plus post office saving deposit. Clear? Plus post office saving a deposit. Now move to the next question. Very, very important. Clear? So what is the ratio of? The ratio of broad money. Clear? Basically the ratio of broad money divided by the reserve money. Clear? The ratio of broad money divided by the reserve money. M0 basically it is known as, clear? Basically it is known as narrow money, high money, wide money, money multiplier. Clear? So what will be the correct answer under that? Clear? So what will be the correct answer basically under that? Clear? The ratio of the broad money, that is basically M3 by M0 divided by the reserve money, that is M0. Basically it is known as narrow money, high money, wide money, money multiplier. The correct answer, that is option number D. Basically that is money multiplier. Clear? Basically that is money multiplier. Or basically this sometimes basically it is M1 not M0. Basically it is M1. Clear? M3 by M1 not M0. Clear? So basically it is M3 by M1. Okay, so please remember that that is money multiplier, that is M3 by M1. Okay, so what is the meaning of the money multiplier? Clear? Can anyone tell basically money multiplier? What is the effect of that? Basically I will discuss that. What is M3 and what is M1? Clear, as we have already discussed regarding that. So M3, I have, that is M1 plus demand and time deposit basically with the banking system plus post office saving deposits. So can anyone tell basically what is M1? What is M1? So basically as just basically figure given by the book, that is basically the cash component. Clear? Basically the cash component, that is M1 in the year 2016-2017. Clear? Basically in the year 2016-17 was just, it was just basically 21%. Clear? Basically it is included cash components. Clear? It was just basically 21% of the money supply. Clear? Of the money supply indicated by, clear, of the money supply indicated by M3. Clear? Of the money supply basically indicated by M3. Clear? So the correct answer, that is money multiply basically it is M3 by M1. Clear? Basically it is M3 by M1. Now move to the next question. Clear? Now move to the next question. CRR, compliance on a daily basis, requires minimum balance of, clear, CRR compliance on a daily basis requires minimum balance of, clear, requires minimum balance of. Option number A basically that is 100% of the CRR requirement. Option number B basically that is 95% of the CRR requirement. Option number C basically that is 70% basically of the CRR requirement, and option number D basically that is 50% of the CRR requirement. Clear? And option number D basically that is 50% of the CRR requirement. Clear? So basically what will be the correct answer here? Basically what will be the correct answer here? Can anyone tell basically what will be the correct answer? That is CRR compliance basically on a daily basis requires minimum balance of, clear? So on the daily basis, earlier basically it is 90%. Clear? Basically earlier basically it is 90%, which is now enhanced to 95%. Clear? Basically which is now enhanced to 95%. Clear? According to me basically which is now enhanced to 95%. Clear? So basically go with the option number B here. Clear? Basically go with the option number B here. That is 95% basically of the CRR requirement. Clear? Basically 95% of the CRR requirement. Okay, so I will check once again. If you have any doubt, clear, you can also check. Clear? According to me, this one basically will be enhanced. Clear? This one basically will be enhanced. Earlier basically it is 90%. Clear? Earlier basically it is 90%. Okay. And can anyone tell basically, like basically we have to SLR. According to basically we have also SLR. Clear? So SLR basically it is to be maintained basically in which form? Clear? Basically SLR basically it is to be maintained in which form? Can anyone tell? In the form of SLR basically to be maintained basically in the form of, please tell fast. So first one basically that it is to be cash balances, and among that cash balances, clear, basically among that cash balances, basically we have to excluding basically balances maintained for CRR. Clear, basically we have to exclude balances basically maintained for excluding basically balances basically maintained for CRR. Second one, that is basically gold. Clear, basically that is gold. Clear, there are some other important points regarding that which you have to remember. Clear, basically which you have to remember. That's why basically I have written specifically here. Clear. Second one, basically that is the gold, that is basically value of the gold basically not exceeding the current market price. Clear. And third one basically that is approved securities. Third one basically that is the approved securities. Any other query, any other doubt basically regarding this, you can ask here. So otherwise basically we will move to the next one. Clear. Next question basically now basically we will move that here from question number 16. So basically banks may borrow. Clear, basically banks may borrow in call and notice money market. Clear. So basically how much basically they borrow. Clear. So banks basically may borrow in call and notice money market without any ceiling. Clear. Option number A basically that is basically banks can borrow basically in call and notice money market basically. Option number A basically that is without any ceiling. Option number B that is basically 100% of their capital tier 1. 100% of their tier 1 capital basically on fortnightly average basis. Third one basically that is 100% of their capital funds on fortnightly average basis. Clear. Option number D is basically none of the above. Clear, basically none of the above. So basically there is some ceiling. Clear, basically without any ceiling, that is to be wrong here. Clear. So that is to be wrong here. So basically bank can also borrow here, bank can also lend here. Okay. And they are asking basically call money. Clear, basically that is call money. Clear, over the call money. So basically bank can borrow basically in the call money lending. Clear. That is basically up to a maximum of 100%. Clear. That is basically borrow basically that is 100% of their capital funds. And lending basically that is 25%. 25% of the capital funds. Clear. And basically with respect to that, clear, basically for any specific day. Clear, basically for any specific day. Clear. So the maximum borrowing for any specific day, basically what is the maximum borrowing basically for that basically it is 25% of the capital for any specific day. That is 125% of the capital borrowing, and lending basically that is 50%. Clear. And but they have to maintain this one on the fortnightly average basis. Clear. So here basically that is option number C is the answer. That is basically of their capital funds, not of the tier 1 capital. Clear. That is basically they have to maintain basically with respect to their capital funds, basically not with respect to the tier 1 capital. Clear. Not with respect to the okay. So now move to the next question. Question number 17. Clear. Basically question number 17. I think basically this question I have already discussed basically with you in the previous question. So basically bank can borrow and lend overnight up to a maximum of. So basically they can borrow, basically that is basically bank can borrow and lend overnight basically up to a maximum of. That is basically this is to be 100% and that is 25%. Clear? That is basically 25%. Clear? So why basically we will not go with the 120 as basically in any option basically there is not any 125 or 50%. Clear? So basically they are giving basically on the basis of the fortnightly, which is that is option number B is the answer. Clear? Sometimes basically we will see that basically the question is to be wrong here. Clear? So basically question is not wrong here. Clear? So basically we have to be go with the options. Clear? Basically we have to basically go with the options as per the requirement. Clear? So basically we have to be go basically with the options as per the requirement. Clear? So basically we have to be go with the option basically as per the requirement. Now move to the next question, question number 18. Question number 18 basically that is related to the retained earnings. Clear? Question number 18 basically that is related to the retained earning. Clear? So let's discuss that. So retained earning is clear. So basically what is a retained earning? Option number A basically that is are included in the equity. Clear? Basically are included in the equity because they could have been paid out in the form of the dividends. Clear? Basically are included in the equity because they have been could have been paid out in the form of the dividends. Next one basically that is are included in the equity since they are a special set. Clear? Basically they are a special set aside that adjusts basically with adjustment in the market value of the assets. Third one are not included in the equity since they are a special set aside basically that adjust basically with adjustments in the market value of the liabilities. Fourth one basically that is the are not included in the equity since they are a contra asset entry to the entire balance sheet. They are a contra asset as entry basically to the entire balance sheet. Clear? So what will be the correct answer? Please tell fast. Clear? What will be the correct answer? Basically, please tell fast. So in simple language, basically, I will tell you basically what is a retained earning. So basically, it is the amount of the profit. Clear? So retained earning, basically, it is the amount of the profit. Clear? Basically, retained earning, basically, what is that? Basically, it is the amount of the profit of a company has left. Clear? Basically, it is the amount of the profit basically of a company has left. Basically, when that amount of the profit basically after paying all its clear after paying all its direct cost, indirect cost, after paying all its direct cost, indirect cost, income tax and dividends. Clear? Basically income tax and dividends. Clear? So that is basically depends to be retained earning. Clear? So the left basically in the end, basically what they have left basically that is to be the retained earning. Clear? So now please tell fast basically what will be the correct answer now. The correct answer basically that is option number A here. That is the correct answer basically that is are included in the equity. Clear? Basically this is to be included in the equity because they could have been paid out. Clear? Because they could have been basically paid out in the form of the dividends. Clear? Because they could have been paid out basically in the form of the dividends. Okay. So option number A is the correct answer here. Clear? Option number A is the correct answer here. Now move to the next question, question number 19. Very, very important. Clear? This question is very, very important. Clear? As many students basically have doubt in this question also. Clear? Many times. So the maximum, the minimum and the maximum. Clear? The minimum and the maximum cash reserve ratio that Reserve Bank of India basically can prescribe. Clear? Basically that the Reserve Bank of India here the word miss. That Reserve Bank of India basically can prescribe under section 42 of the RBI Act 1934C. Clear? So what will be the answer? 3% and 20%. Option number B basically that is 3% and 15%. Option number C, basically that is no minimum and maximum. Option number D, basically that is 5% and 20%. Clear? So basically earlier, there is a prescribed minimum level. Clear? Basically earlier, basically there is a prescribed minimum level that is basically 3% and 20% basically for the cash reserve ratio. But presently, basically there is not any minimum and maximum prescription. Clear? Basically for the cash reserve ratio that is to be prescribed by the Reserve Bank of India. So option number C will be the answer, that is no minimum and maximum now. Clear? Basically that is no minimum and the maximum now. Okay, so can anyone tell basically there is one more money, that is the reserve money. Reserve money. Can anyone tell basically what is that money? You will find these types of question in the examination. Clear? So please go through. Basically we are expecting that everything basically we are covering basically as per the examination point of view. Okay, so let's discuss what is the reserve money. Can anyone tell basically what is reserve money? Very, very important. Clear? So basically it is the money impounded by RBI. Clear? So basically it is the money impounded by RBI. It is the money basically impounded by RBI. Basically for what? By the means of cash reserve ratio. Clear? Basically by the means of cash reserve ratio, which is intended. Clear? Basically which is intended to reduce the multiplier effect. Clear? Basically which is intended to reduce the multiplier effect. Clear? Basically which is intended to reduce the multiplier effect. Clear? So it is the money basically impounded by the RBI basically by the means of CRR, basically which is intended to reduce the multiplier effect. Clear? Basically which is intended to reduce the multiplier effect. Clear? So this is the money. Okay, so now move to the next question. And similarly, basically reserve money, like there is one more, reserve assets. Clear? So reserve assets. So regarding that, basically you have to tell in the comment section. Clear? Basically what is reserve assets. Clear? Now move to the next question. Reverse repo. Clear? So basically what is a reserve repo? Clear? Very, very important. So reserve repo, that reverse repo, that is basically purchase of securities basically with the sale items. Clear? Basically with the sale agreement. Clear? That is purchase of securities basically with the sale agreement. Is a what it is a. Clear? So basically what it is a. It is a liability item. It is an asset item, contingent liability item, or contingent asset item. Clear? So what is that? Clear? So basically what it is that. That is basically reverse repo, that is basically purchase of securities basically with the sale agreement. Basically it is a, basically it is a liability item, asset item, contingent liability item, or contingent asset item. Clear? Or contingent asset item. So this question basically I will left for all of you for the practice purpose. And in the evening, basically I will take one more session basically as prescribed in the schedule for the module C, that is basically constitutes. Basically in that session basically I will discuss this question and I will explain the concept. And that is basically along with that basically we are covering basically some more questions. And that is basically in the evening basically I will discuss also basically with you what is NDS. Very, very important. From the last 2 to 3 attempts continuously basically they will ask this question on the basis of that. Clear? And I will discuss this question also, that is question number 10 in the evening session. Clear? So I request all of you, please explain your answer basically in the comment section in detail, basically if you are able to understand basically what the questions say that. Clear? So in the evening basically we will discuss 15 questions. Clear? There is a little bit long session basically I will take in the evening, so that basically we will cover more questions along with the concept. Clear? And please revise. Clear? Basically please revise the chapter number 19 also, that is treasury risk management. Clear? That is basically treasury risk management. Very, very important topic. Clear? Under that is modified duration. And what is duration? What is effective yield? YTM. All these are value at risk, clear duration. All these are very, very important questions basically for the examination point of view. Clear? So we'll discuss all these things basically in the evening. Clear? And I will provide you basically some more questions basically in the group basically for the practice purpose. Yesterday basically some questions are already provided to you. So I request to all of you, please do practice and send your doubts basically in the group in the form of the question number. So basically I will discuss all your doubts also. Clear? Basically please do revision. This is the most scoring module. Clear? This is the easiest basically among all the four. And basically you will find many of the question that is theoretical based question basically from this module. Clear? This is the module basically where you will get most of the theoretical based question in the examination. So thanks to all of you for joining this discussion.